welcome to Youngest League the One YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Max Obwene from the Office of the Clerk of National Assembly.
You're most welcome, Honorable Informer for Witness. My name is Evans Chilongo from the Office of the Clerk. Thank you.
Witness, you can introduce yourself.
Grateful Chair for the opportunity, and good afternoon, Honorable Members of Parliament. My name is Honorable George Chisanga. I'm a Member of Parliament for Lukashya constituency, but also a legal practitioner belonging to the Law Association of Zambia. Thank you.
Maybe if you could clarify, are you submitting as LAZ or you are submitting as an individual, because you have added...
Chair, I'm actually submitting as an individual.
Thank you very much. And I'm Honorable Andrew Tengwa, Member of Parliament for Kabwata. I'm the chairperson for today. Witness, we want to confer you with our captive immunity, so that whatsoever you shall say here, if it is true, the law will not work against you. But if you willfully decide to mislead us, the same captive will actually work against you. We've read through your submission, and all the honorable members have actually read through. So we would request you if you could stick to your critical points. You have 10 minutes to submit.
I'm grateful, Chair. Again, thank you for the opportunity to allow me to come and submit before your respectable committee. Chair, like you pointed out, I have done a written position. Unfortunately, I didn't know the bill number that we're dealing with, so in the subject it refers to bill number blah 2025. But the crux of my position, Chair, is that we are about to introduce legislation that can, for lack of a better term, be described as regressive and not progressive. And I have tried to argue by first justifying the historical reason why there's a straight-jacketed way in which legal systems allow challenges to be made to ownership of land. For emphasis of the point, Chair, I have tried to argue that you are trying, or this legislation is trying to undo a rule for land law and title holding that today is 810 years old, because in 2015, rather in 1215, the year 1215, the UK almost exploded into civil strife, because at that time the UK was a serfdom. There was the king, there were the barons, and there were the subjects. Unfortunately, because of attempts to scuttle land title and land tenures, the subjects decided to wage a revolt against the king. And any scholar of land law will tell you that in that year, in 1215, the king decided to enact what is known as the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta is basically a legal instrument that is classified as the first constitution ever written. And in regard to holding land titles, the king and the barons agreed that they will respect the right of citizens to own land and own it via what is called a title deed, which is why when we own land now, a certificate of title is called a title deed. I've argued, Chair, that this is the entrenching rule when it comes to dealing with title deed or titling of lands elsewhere within the Commonwealth, of which Zambia is but part. I have then moved on to discuss the current legal framework that we have insofar as holding title deeds and how the title deeds can be transferred, and the challenges that can be made to whether a title is being held legitimately or lawfully, or there's something untoward with how it is held. And I've argued, Chair, on my point too, that the only power the statute currently gives to registrars is for them to maintain the register, as well as to undertake corrections of omissions and entries that are made in the register itself, never to cancel title deeds, never to refuse to give title deeds. So this amendment is proposing to introduce a power on the registrar whose responsibility is to maintain the registry at the Lands and Deeds Registry, to undertake what is called a quasi-judicial function, to be able to exercise as an individual the power to cancel a certificate of title or to refuse to issue a certificate of title if he thinks or she thinks the person who's concerned does not merit being given a certificate of title. This is the input of the amendment that is being proposed. I have then argued, Chair, that this is a departure from what was intended by the Magna Carta and what was then undertaken in terms of reforms. For brevity of time, I wasn't able to refer to what is known in Zambia as a watershed speech, which is a speech that Dr. Kaunda gave in 1973 when we changed the land tenure with a view to protecting the owners of land. At that time, it was felt that many people that held land were actually not in the country, and the intention was to allow for Zambians to own land. But that land being held by people that were not in the country, the government had to take a wide-ranging consultation among its stakeholders.
Oh my goodness.